Hello, once again, it's the Peak Signing Agents Podcast, where me, your host, DVO, Derek Van Otten, is helping you become the best notary and signing agent that you could possibly be. And I'm excited to be with you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a great time. Hopefully business is looking good for you because interest rates at the time of this recording is being talked about going downward. So we might be getting a little busy with refinances. That will be exciting, right? Well, just to give you an update on what's going on with me. So if you're kind of new to the podcast and you don't know about me, you can go and fast forward a little bit. But anyway, I just got in town last night. I'm a little tired today from the traveling. Me and my brother decided to take a little mini vacation. So we went to San Diego and we went to a baseball game. It was also my cousin and her daughter's birthday within a week apart. So we took them with us and we celebrated their birthday. Went out and had a lot of great food, and then also met up with my mentor, Mark Wills, who lives out in the San Diego area. So I met up with him, and we were just kind of talking about business and upcoming plans that the loan signing system has in place, which is pretty exciting, just to say the least. But anyway, that will be coming out maybe in a month or two of what they are rolling out. They are on fire with things they're doing to help the notary community out. So I'm excited for it. Anyway, like I said, hope you're doing very well. And I thought on this episode, I would just share a pretty disastrous story of a closing. And I'm sharing this with you not to vent or complain, but to show you the world of what signing services go through and things that you should avoid to be a peak signing agent. Things that you should avoid so that you are always hired, that you are always on top of mind when they are thinking of a notary. Let me get into the story. It was a Friday. All right, let me start there. It's a Friday. We're getting to the end of the day. Most of my offices, most of my escrow offices, they close around 5:30 p.m. We're getting right to the end of that. And then when my client says, we have a closing for tomorrow, Saturday morning in Pittsburgh. It has to make last pickup, last UPS. I need it back on Monday. So we said, okay, let's work on this for you. We sent out a ton of text messages through our platform that we use. And we're at the end of the day, and where Pittsburgh is, it's 2 hours ahead of us. So it's already getting a little later in the evening. So we were trying to hurry and just send as many text messages as we can. We get 2 responses. One person wanted $10 extra. Nothing too crazy. And the other person, and then one other person accepted it. Out of all of the text messages we sent, 40 to 50 text messages, 2 people responded. I should say 3 people responded. One said they were not available. So then that's fine. So 3 people responded out of like 40 or 50. So we called the notary that accepted it. Try to get them on the phone, just kind of talk to them a little bit. They didn't answer. We left them a voicemail, assigned them the order, sent them an email. Here's your confirmation email. And then another email. Here's some instructions. So we sent a couple messages, okay? They should have received 2 notifications. One saying that they were assigned the order. The other one saying, hey, here are some instructions. And then we uploaded the documents. So they should have got a 3rd notification. Documents were uploaded. We're getting later into the evening, and I noticed that the notary hasn't even looked at the order online. So I sent a text message. Again, it's getting a little later. So I'm trying like, hey, hurry and call. So send a text message. No response. Then I make a phone call. No answer. I wait a few more minutes in case they want to call back. They didn't call back. I had to unassign them. So at this moment, my schedule is already off the clock now. It's because, again, we got this order towards the end of the day. My schedule's already off the clock. So here I am. I have a family event going on. We're at an activity, and I have to step away. So I'm working by myself at this point. I have to step away from the activity. So my family and everyone else is in another area. I'm stepping away to make this phone call, to send this text message, to send this email. No response from the notary. So then I unassign the notary, and I start texting a whole bunch of people again. Now it's getting close to the end. It's getting later. It's on the East Coast. So it's getting past 9 p.m. And I'm sending 40, 50 texts once again. Only 2 people responded, and it was the same. I didn't text the person that accepted the order. So again, remember, only 3 people responded. This time, only 2 people responded, and it was the same 2 people. The one person saying, I'm not available, and the other one saying, at this point, because it's getting later, we did put a higher amount in, because it was last minute, it's getting to the end of the night, we put a higher amount in. She accepted, which was the amount she originally wanted when she countered. I call her, she answers. I'm like, oh, great, thank you. Can you please call the signer and just kind of confirm the appointment? And I go, I know it's getting late. I want you to call as soon as you can because I'm sure they're expecting a phone call. She's like, yep, I'll do that when I get off the phone with you. I'm like, fantastic. Great. I'm excited. Soon I go back to the event. I'm already outside from my family for about half hour at this point as I'm texting notary. I'm doing this all from my phone, so it's a very small screen now. And I'm trying to like kind of vet the notaries before I text them. I'm kind of looking at their profiles a little bit and sending the text messages out. So it's been a half an hour. I've been away. So I go back. I get a notification that the notary has reached out and was not able to confirm. I'm like, that's fine. As long as she's reached out, that's all that I care about at this point. That's fine. And then a few minutes later, I get another message, and she said, well, the signer said that he's won't be in town yet at that time because we needed to make last pickups. We tried to schedule something a little early, and the notary said, oh, the signer, he's traveling because I found out later he was in a band, and he was performing in Pittsburgh on Saturday evening. So when he called back Friday evening, he was like, oh, I'm still in the middle of traveling. I'm not going to be in town until later in the afternoon. I'm like, that's fine. Are you? And I told her, are you okay doing that later in the afternoon? She said, yeah, that's not a problem. I can do that later in the afternoon. I said, great. And then the next morning rolls around. In the meantime, I notified my escrow officer. I said, hey, I know it's late. Sorry, just real quick. I want to let you know that our client is actually in the middle of traveling. He won't be in until later Saturday afternoon. So it won't ship out Saturday. It'll ship out on Monday. So you won't receive it on Monday. You'll receive it on Tuesday. Just want to give you a heads up. And the escrow officer says, that's fine. Thanks for letting me know. Because there's nothing he can do either. He's like, I'll let the agent know. Because there's nothing we can do. He's in the middle of traveling. There's nothing any of us can do. So Saturday morning rolls around, and I'm doing my interview with Melina, who was on last week's episode. So I'm doing my interview with her, and my phone's going off during the interview. We were only talking for about an hour and a half. My phone's blowing up. I'm getting emails and phone calls. We get off the phone. I look. I got an email from the notary that I hired Saturday, and I got missed phone calls from the notary that we originally hired. And I look at the email from the notary that we hired, and she said, okay, yeah, I can accommodate Saturday afternoon, but I want a higher fee. So I'm like, why is she asking for a higher fee? I called the notary back who was originally assigned. And, well, she actually texted me before my interview. She said, hey, I went to go sign to signing order, and I don't see the order. I said, yeah, we took you off because you had zero communication. And I left it at that. So I see that she called. And I thought, let me just see what she wants. So I call her back. And she said, I actually did get the notifications, but when I logged in to the platform to look at the order, it wasn't there. And I said, okay. I'm in my head, I'm thinking, it's possible. The platforms aren't perfect. It's possible that she went to log in and there was an issue. She was like, if it's still available, I would love to do it for you and show you what an amazing job I can do. And I like this kind of a talk. I like when notaries talk to me this way. So I said, okay, I'll tell you what. If it's still available, let me find out with my schedulers. Because I saw that, again, I'm not going to check with my schedulers. I just saw that email from the notary that we had hired again. And that she wanted a higher fee. I'm like, let me talk to this notary first. So I tell the original notary, I said, okay, I'll tell you what. Let me see if it's still available. I go, I know we originally said it was going to be like the morning, afternoon, but it'll probably be later, like around 4 or 5 in the afternoon. Are you available, in the evening? And she said, yeah, I'm available at 4 or 5. I said, okay, great then. I'll let you know. I'll get back to you. She's like, thank you. So I called the notary that we hired. Say, hey, I got your email. What's the issue? I don't understand the issue. And she said, well, it's over 150 pages, so I want to charge more. I'm like, well, how much are you thinking? She said, $50. She said, because again, it's over 150 pages. I said, this is 164 pages. I go, that's 28 pages. And she's like, what do you mean? I said, well, that's 14 pages more, right? 164 is 14 pages more than 150. She said, yeah. And I go, and you're going to print a second set, right? She goes, yeah. I go, that's 14 and 14 is 28. So I said, for 28 pages, you're asking for $50? I go, a ream of paper is 500 pages, and that's less than $5. What are you talking about, is what I asked her. And she said, well, originally you said it would be between 9 and 12, and then when I call, and it's kind of late at night when I'm calling, and the person's calling me back, it's kind of later in the evening, and she said, so it's later in the evening, and then he wants to do 4 or 5, and I was really told this time, I go, I don't get it. Like, in my head, I'm thinking, do people on the East Coast not realize that there are signing services on the West Coast that are 3 hours behind them, and they might get a notification at 7, 8, 9 p.m.? I mean, you tell me. You comment. Go to YouTube and comment. Are you on the East Coast aware that there's a time difference? And there's also Hawaii. That's a U.S. state that's maybe 4, 5, 6, 7 hours behind the East Coast. Are you not accepting notifications in the later evenings? Or have you not even thought about that yet? Maybe you haven't even thought about that. And maybe now you're kind of thinking, oh yeah, I forget. All these notifications that I'm getting might be coming from the West Coast or from Hawaii that are hours behind me. I should still be like checking on my phone for notifications if you want the business, I'm saying. If you want the business. I get it. You run your business how you want. If you're like, hey, at 7 p.m. I turn off my phone. Hey, that's you. That's totally fine. But if you've never thought of it before, if you don't think about it, let me know. Or if you are like, yeah, I'm very aware. And so I keep my notification phone on me at all times because I want all the business. Let me know. So anyway, she goes, well, what do you think is fair? I said, well, I think what's fair is what you accepted. You accepted the fee. You accepted the location. You accepted it. You didn't say, I'll accept it if it's under 150 pages. You didn't say that. And I said, I think you should accept what you said. I mean, I think that's what's fair, is that you accept what you accepted and not say, oh, it's 14 pages more. I want extra money. I get if it's over 200 pages. I mean, I get if it's over 200 pages, but if 164 pages is too much for you, maybe this is not the right line of work for you. I mean, we're talking less than $5 of paper. And you want $50 more? And then she goes, and then, I know I said I could do, around 4 or 5 o'clock, but I had a plan already at 5 o'clock. So, I'm trying to adjust to this. And, he was calling me after hours last night to confirm the appointment. And I said, you know what? Don't even worry about it. I'm taking you off right as we speak. And she said, okay, thanks. And I blacklisted her and left her a negative review. Now, anyone who sees it, well, let me know. In fact, let me tell you a fun little story. When me and Melina were done recording, we were just kind of talking a little bit, talking about business, helping each other out with business. And she says, you leave reviews on Notaries, don't you? I said, yeah. She's like, I noticed because you put your initials after your review. I said, I do. And I also tell my schedulers to put my initials after we review a notary. So what does that say though? I'm giving you a gold nugget here. Signing services leave reviews on the platforms, and other signing services look at them. And I want to be accountable for my reviews. That's why I put my initials after my review. Now, you as a signing agent just don't see it. If you're in a certain signing service, you will see any reviews that we leave behind. But I want to be accountable. I'm fine. If you want to call me out and say, hey, hey, DVO, you gave this notary a negative review. I just want you to know they did a great job with us. Maybe you want to reconsider them. I would reconsider them depending on the severity of the situation. But if it wasn't too severe, I would reconsider notary. Absolutely. Not a problem. Because I believe we get better. That's why I do this podcast, by the way, is so that all of us get better. We do a better job. We learn and we improve and we always continuously try to get better. So I am totally up for giving notaries a second shot. Anyway, with this notary, I unassigned her, left her a bad review. I blacklisted her. I never want to work with her again because I don't trust it. In fact, looking at some of her reviews, I've seen that she tries to price gouge. So I said, you know what? This is a continuing problem that she's had from years ago. Some of these reviews from like 2001, where she was trying to price gouge. So I said, you know what? This is a continuing problem. I'm blacklisting her. I don't want to work with her again. I don't want to deal with this again. So I call up the original notary that we originally hired that I thought wasn't communicating, but maybe there was an issue with the platform. I call her, say, hey, I'm going to give it to you. Call them up, schedule the time. It's going to be around 4 or 5. You let us know what time it is exactly. Documents are ready for you. Instructions are there for you. Have at it. She's like, great. She downloads them. She goes to the signing. She lets me know when they're done. She didn't let me know right away, but I did ask, like, hey, how's everything going? She said, we're getting done. I'll get ready to send you scans. I don't know what, she has some issues with her scanner or something. She gave me scans. It took a long time. Looked over them. It's a split signing. Now we got some issues. Because on the signature line of the person she was not meeting with, she struck through the signature line and wrote NA on the signature line. In her notary section, however, she left the other person's name. She missed a signature on the settlement statement. She missed some initials. Had to call her. I said, hey, real quick, you missed these initials. You missed this signature. And it's a split signing. Why did you cross out the other person's name on the signature line? She's like, well, it wasn't applicable to me because they weren't there in front of me. I said, okay, it's not applicable to you personally, but it's still applicable that the co-borrower signs it. NA means not applicable. It is very applicable that they sign this page. They are going to sign this on Tuesday at the title office with the escrow officer. This needs to be, don't do this. In fact, you should have struck out their name in your notary section. That's where you should have struck it. In your notary section, you should have struck out the other person's name and initialed it because they weren't there with you, but you leave the signature line alone. They still need to sign that line and you just crossed out their name. I said, you need to go back to the signer, please. Get that missing signature. The pages where there's 2 of them on the one page, you need to have him re-sign that page. Do not put NA on the signature line of the person that you are not meeting with. Again, if you're new, I just want to reiterate this on a split signing, meaning I did a whole episode about this. But anyway, there's 2 people signing. One is with the notary, the other person's signing somewhere else, with another notary or with an escrow officer or whatever. On the signature lines, you leave that alone. They still need to sign on the signature lines. But in your notary section, you are stating who is in front of you. And if 2 names are there and you're only meeting with one person, you strike the other person's name in your notary section only and initial it. So she basically left it alone that she met with both people. Anyway, I had to explain that to her. I'm like, go back, get these pages signed. The pages where it was just the one person had to sign that you weren't meeting with, and you crossed their signature line and put NA, just reprint a brand new page and just put it back in the notary package or in the closing package and throw that other one away that you wrote NA on. Throw that away. There's no need for title to get that back. Anyway, it was a disaster. It was a disaster. She missed signatures. She missed initials. She crossed out the other person's name. She got it fixed. She's like, I talked to the person. He's available. He doesn't perform until later tonight. I'm going to go back to his hotel and get it signed. She does. She sends me scans. Okay, it's fixed. Drop it off on Monday because they need it back Tuesday for that other person to sign. My schedulers track the order. It's not tracking. They call her. Have you dropped the documents off yet? And she said, I dropped it off, but I missed it. We said, how did you miss it? You signed on Saturday. You had all Monday to drop it off. Why was it not dropped off? I'm stressing out. I got to tell my client this. She said, I had car troubles all day. I finally got a hold of my daughter's car and I went to go drop it off and it was too late. So she's telling my scheduler this and I call her. I said, Notary, what is going on? I'm hearing that you had all day to drop this off and you did not drop it off. What's going on? And she said, I had car issues. And I had car issues since Saturday. And I finally got a hold of my daughter to bring me her car and I went to go drop it off. And I said, if you had car troubles, why did you not arrange something so you could drop this off? You knew this was a split signing. You knew this had to be back to title the next day. Why did you wait until all day to drop this off? You couldn't arrange an Uber or a Lyft to take you. You couldn't arrange a neighbor or someone else, a friend to take you. Like there's so many things you could have done. Take a bus. I don't care. Make that payment to a share lift or a bus or get on your bicycle. I don't care. Get this to UPS. Get this over there. Like there's no excuse. I'm telling you guys, if you have car issues, there's no excuse to still drop off documents. Hey, it sucks. I get it. You got to make some arrangements. You got to make things work out for you. Well, if it happens last minute, I get it. I take that back. But if you were having car issues during the weekend, you should have made arrangements for Monday. Does that make sense? Like you should have made arrangements. I'm like, I just gotta say, I'm disappointed. You hyped yourself up. Like you want to take care of this. You want to show me what a good job you could do. And you didn't even drop it off in time. Like I'm disappointed. I told her I'm disappointed. She's like, I understand. I'm like, so what time did you drop it off? What did they say? She said it'll be there on Friday. I'm like, why will it be there on Friday? Why would it be there on Friday? There's no reason. She's like, I don't know. Was this priority and not overnight? I'm like, this is UPS next day air. She goes, UPS? And I get quiet. I say, where did you drop it off at? Because I dropped it off at FedEx. I go, that's impossible. FedEx will not accept a UPS label. I'm like, did you drop it off at a FedEx office or a FedEx shipping center? Like, I don't understand. She's like, it was a FedEx office. I go, they won't take a UPS order. She's like, they did. I go, then you've mixed labels up. She's like, okay, hold on. I got to go back. I'm like, yeah, you do. You need to go back right now. I'm boiling. Absolutely boiling, okay? I'm staying on the phone with you. I'm staying on the phone with you. How far away are you? She's like, I'm not too far. I'm like, I'm staying on the phone with you. You need to go back right now and talk to them and find out what's going on. She drives there. It takes a while. She's like, are you still there? I said, I'm still here. I was just very quiet. I was boiling, like I said. She's like, I'm almost there. I'm a couple lights away. I'm light away. She's keeping me updated. She gets there. She's like, I need to get this package back. She shows them. She's like, she's like, I was here just not too long ago. I dropped it off. It's in an envelope. And then she goes, oh, here's the receipt. And I should have thought of asking for the receipt because the receipt will tell you the tracking number. And I know exactly where the tracking number is between FedEx and UPS. So she gets it back. I'm like, you got it? She's like, yeah, I got it. And I said, what's the shipping label? She's like, it's a FedEx going to Arizona. And as some of you know that follow me, most of my clients are in Utah. I'm like, it should have been a UPS label going to Utah. I go, please open it up and make sure it's the documents. Because she was just like, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take this right now. I'm like, no, don't leave yet. Open it up and make sure it's the documents of the signing that you did on Saturday. She opens it up, and yes, it was. And I said, okay. I said, all right, drop it off tomorrow. First thing, I want you to call me as soon as you drop it off. You need to drop this off first thing Tuesday morning so they get it Wednesday. They should have got it Tuesday. She does. She let me know. She messaged me the next day and said, I dropped it off. Here's the copy of the receipt. But I had to call my client. on Monday and say, so the order wasn't tracking. We tracked it. And the notary didn't drop it off in time. Car problems. He was nice about it, luckily, but I wasn't sure how he was going to react. I wasn't sure. He had every right to be upset because it's signed on Saturday. There's no reason he shouldn't have got it on Tuesday. So anyway, I just want to share this story with you because this is what happens with signing services. This is what we have to go through all the time. Now, I'm docking this notary's fee, by the way, because we do have stipulations. And one of the stipulations are it needs to make last drop or we deduct your fee. So she's getting a deduction in her fee. She actually did message me in response saying, I understand if you need to take away my fee. Basically, she was just saying, I understand if you don't pay me, I think. I still want to pay her. She got the job done, even though it didn't ship out in time. So I still want to pay her. I'm just not paying her what I told her I'd pay her. But I also told her, hey, we deduct fees for these certain items. And so we're going to deduct her fee. I just want to share this with you because this is what we go through. This doesn't happen all the time. It happens frequently, though. Notaries miss signatures. They don't drop it off in time. They make mistakes, or they don't make mistakes, but they do big errors like crossing through a signature line. All right, sorry, I don't know if you hear that noise. We are actually remodeling our house right now, and that's why I'm not recording in the mobile office. I'm recording in my office, which I'm still trying to put together. It's been a disaster. Anyway, I just want to share this with you. I want to share with you what not to do as a notary, okay? Like we put instruction there, triple check the documents before you leave the house. She probably would have caught that she missed the signature. The fact that she struck through all the names, which I don't know why she did that, but we've talked about this before on the podcast before. But yeah, don't cross out their names. They need to sign. Don't cross out anyone's signature lines. In your notary section, that's okay. That's your domain. You own the notary section. Make it applicable for you and your state's laws. But don't just start writing on documents unless you get approval from somebody. You should get approval from the loan officer or the title officer or the signing service. Get approval before you write on documents. Don't just start striking through, doing things. Don't do things like that unless you get the approval. Okay? Anyway, I just want to share with you, if you are a peak signing agent in Pittsburgh, go to YouTube and comment. Email me. I need to find someone good out in Pittsburgh. All right? That's what I learned from this. If you're a signing service owner, tell me who you like to use. Because no one wants to respond out in that area. All right? No one seems to want to respond in that area. Anyway, I hope you learn from this. Take from this, say, hey, this is what I will never do. And I'm going to be a peak signing agent for signing services out there because I want them to give me good reviews. I want them to share with other signing services what a great job I do because I want all the business. I want to show I'm a peak signing agent. I want to work and provide for me and my family. That's why I'm a signing agent. I provide great service. That's why I'm in the service industry. All right. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to another episode. We'll be back with you next week with another one. See you then. Bye.